Hi, my name's Cliff Francis. I'm a civil engineering project manager currently working on the South West Waters Capital Civils Framework.
Describe your job in 3 words.
I think that as a project manager, there are 3 key aspects to this. That's cost, program, and quality.
Name one skill you need to succeed in your role.
I think that a real key skill to have as a project manager in contracting or in construction is the ability to manage and deal with change. On a live construction site, the variables often and quite sort of rapidly can change, and being able to deal with that, being able to keep level-headed, problem solve, and particularly draw on the expertise of those around you, I think can be quite valuable as a project manager.
What is the best thing about your job?
I think that the best thing about being in construction, really for me, is you're in a very safe way, of course, having the opportunity to play with big toys. You've got huge and very specialist machinery often on site, and plant and equipment that can be quite exciting to work around and really interesting to become involved with. Particularly as construction continues to evolve, the things that we're able to tackle and the way that we do this just becomes more and more exciting and more interesting.
Why construction?
The reason I decided to get into construction in the first place, my background is in civil engineering. That's what I studied at university. And for me, it's an opportunity to really get involved with providing infrastructure to society that is for the betterment of our communities. Whether that's building highways, improving the railway, improving the water treatment and sewage treatment that we have. That's currently what I'm involved in. I think these are all aspects that can often be invisible to society but create a huge difference for them, and I find that quite fulfilling to be involved with.
One thing you've learnt about the industry.
So something that I could definitely say I've learnt about the construction industry is historically, it's sad to say, but we've been quite slow at evolving and keeping up with the way that the rest of the world seems to be able to adapt and bring in new technologies. You compare us to the tech industry, for example, we're still doing things in a similar way, or have been, that were done years and years ago. However, to complement that, we have seen huge advancements starting to happen within construction. The use of smart technologies for construction that makes things a lot safer and improve efficiency within construction, as well as the use of digitalization and big sort of sets of data are really becoming more and more a part of construction, and I think that that's quite exciting. And for me, really, I look forward to being a huge part of being able to see the industry shift and start to catch up with other sectors and other markets.
Tell us about your career journey so far.
So I first started out, I studied at Plymouth University. I didn't quite have the right A-levels for getting into civil engineering, so I had to do a foundation degree to start with. I found that very useful, having taken a few years out before going to uni. Following that, or during my main civil engineering degree, I took on a couple of different internships with consultancies and with contractors, trying to gain a bit of experience and really getting a feel for what part of construction I was interested in. For me, I decided to take a role on contracting when I graduated, working for a main contractor to start with in the rail division, building bridges, looking at various structural remediations as well as replacements and some embankment stabilisation projects as well. There are other routes into construction, whether that's in design, consultancy, or working for a client on asset management. But for me, I decided to take on the route in contracting, and I found that quite exciting. Since gaining some experience on the railway, I've moved into the water industry. That's something that NMCM particularly specialise in, and I'm gaining better understanding and really becoming a lot more involved in both clean water and sewage treatment work sort of processes, which is quite a difference to what I was doing before, and definitely expanding my sort of foundational knowledge just in civil engineering to other disciplines as well.
One piece of advice for someone looking to get into the industry.
So I guess something that I would want to pass on, or some advice that I might give, is whether you're an apprentice engineer, whether you're a graduate engineer, whether you're still looking to get into construction, is firstly, if you haven't got any experience yet, try and gain as much experience as you can. That will make you invaluable, and it will also help you really figure out what career path you want to take. But second to that, it's try to start developing or continue developing skills that are in using and adopting digital technologies. Do some research and try and find out what is emerging into the market at the moment, what the construction industry is interested in using, and don't just leave this to consultants who are sort of perhaps more historically used to using sort of computer-aided design and technologies. But even if you're more focused on taking a role as a site-based engineer, the adoption of technology is going to become more and more prevalent within construction, and I think if you can keep yourself on the forefront of that, you become a huge asset to the industry.
What's next?
Really focus on trying to develop some skill sets outside of traditional civil engineering, because I think these skill sets are going to become more and more essential as we change the way that we build and become more sustainable as developers in the future.